So just how do insurance companies determine what a case is worth? How do they determine the settlement amount and what they're going to pay on a case? Well, it used to be that there were a lot of people involved in the process, and the human factor was involved. But nowadays, what we see is it's computer AI that does all this. They have a computer program and they'll enter data into it, such as the type of impact it was in a car wreck, and what was the medical treatment, what type of medical treatment, how long did the medical treatment last, was the person off work, what was their pay rate, how many days did they lose. And they just put that basic information in there, and this computer does its thing and spits out a number for the value of the case. And that, unfortunately, tells an insurance adjuster the maximum they can pay on the case, and then their goal is obviously to save money and pay a little less than that. But that maximum amount doesn't do something that is incredibly significant. And that is take into effect the human aspect of it, the human toll or damage that was caused. And in some cases where there's a significant injury, lifelong injury, or a death in the family, that's a huge issue. But it doesn't necessarily have to be to that level. It can be an injury that, say, a father deals with for a period of time, period of months, where they're not able to do a lot of the things that they did in the family structure. They weren't able to take the trash out, or go coach the kids' games and go to a lot of the events that they go to. Or they were going to those things and doing those things, but they were very grumpy because they were in a lot of pain and it was not fun to be around them. The kids didn't enjoy it. Mom certainly didn't enjoy being around grumpy dad. And those were things that they dealt with. And there's value for that. That's affected your life in a way that it shouldn't have affected it, but for that person in an auto accident, but for that person driving negligently, it caused these problems for you. And so you should be compensated for that. But their analysis nowadays doesn't take that human factor into consideration. The good news is juries do. And I'm not saying we try every case, but my point is they know juries ultimately will make a decision. And if you fight them on it, it causes them, they're forcing them to look at that factor, the human factor that's involved. We force insurance companies to meet our client, talk to our client. We'll go to mediation, let them sit across the table from our client, and let's see what it did to my client. Let's talk about that. So they have an understanding of, number one, what you're going to tell the jury, and number two, how it's affected them. And I do find that a lot of insurance adjusters have a heart and they want to talk to them. The problem is they're so confined by what this computer spits out. So that's what we have to get past. But that's essentially how insurance companies nowadays determine what they're going to pay in a settlement. It's punching in some data into a computer and a computer controlling it. And when that number comes out, then they try and save money and pay less than that even. And that's a problem that we work with every day to try and get around because of that human element.